What are your opinions of the Department of Education? And if you oppose the Department of Education, do you have any ideas of what you'd like it replaced with, if anything?
The Department of Education at the federal level, as you know, became a cabinet level position during the Carter administration. For those of us who are old enough to look back, I think we need to step back and say our education facilities greatly improved to back when it wasn't a cabinet level position. I have alarmed some folks by saying that I'm quite willing to have that cabinet level position eliminated. The monies that come down for the federal government need to continue to come down. Guidance needs to come down. So my view as far as whether it's a cabinet level position or wavering, I'm not happy with our Secretary Duncan's interference and push to vilify the teachers too often by the evaluation systems that have been put in and are not appropriate. If you look at economic models, there are some occupations where performance for more money doesn't work, and I think teachers and doctors are two of those occupations where you can't have some on the books evaluation system that alters performance. A teacher goes into teaching not to make a lot of money. They go into teaching for the love of teaching and the love of the students. And I was a little alarmed with my opponent's initial description of who needed to be involved, and he mentioned the school boards and the parents, and it wasn't until later in the conversation that he stressed how important it was to have the teachers involved. The teachers are the solution. They're the ones who have been trained to educate children, and they're the ones who, in this difficult era, have been learning what the different disabilities and learning styles are. Instead of a one-size-fits-all, that's where you can have the adaptation. So I'm not in love with the Department of Education as a cabinet level at the federal position.
As with other things that came out of the Carter administration, the Department of Education is an abysmal failure, plain and simple. Let me make it clear. As the federal government grows in whatever area, as you add on more layers of government at the federal level, it's always a problem because it takes control further away from the local people, the people who it's intended to serve. And there's just a plain philosophical difference, I think, between most conservatives and liberals about this. Conservatives such as myself would like to see the power of the Department of Education curtailed, see more federal dollars sent directly to the guys like Kevin Brooks in Nashville, who do a great job for us every day, to see local school boards and parents have more control of their dollars. I do not, as a matter of fact, I resent federal bureaucrats dictating standards, whether it's to teachers, to students, to anybody. Because folks in Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I've been there almost 2 years, the bureaucrats don't get it. But the great people, the great state of Tennessee, they get it. Parents, teachers, educators, they get it. Local school boards, they get it. So let's begin to curtail the power, because as the federal government grows, whether it's the Department of Education or any federal department, our liberties are constrained. And it's a bad thing. So I wish it had never happened. Like Dr. Headrick, I share a great distaste for that organization.